Welcome to my State of the Watch Collection 2026. This is my first video, and I wanted to introduce you to some of my timepieces. I don't have an enormous collection, as you can see. I have only 8 watches, and they're not the nicest or most expensive, but I feel that these timepieces really capture where I am in life right now. 2026 has been quite the hectic year for me. I've sold a lot of the watches I owned, and I've bought a lot of watches that I never expected to have the chance to purchase or own. So today we're going through every watch in my collection, why it's still here, and what I think of it after having lived with these watches. So when I first got into watches, I didn't really know what I was doing. I bought a Seiko 5 field watch, the SRPG33, when I was 16, and over the years I've come to, I don't know, learn what I like, what I don't like. I've realized is that I'm somebody who prioritizes fit, like how it wears on the wrist, the personality of a watch, and the sentimentality and the memories that it represents in my collection. I think that like with Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, I'm constantly being fed these like hype watches and trends, and it's made it really difficult to like cut out the fluff and see what I actually enjoy collecting. So to get started, I have my Seiko Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind SPB437. I bought this watch this year, and when I initially saw like the press releases, I thought it was ugly. But the more I see it in person and the more I wear it, the more I realize that it perfectly represents the movie that it's trying to represent. It has a bunch of different like Easter eggs and nods to the original film, and it's just, the more you look at it, the more you understand just kind of the design choices behind it. I initially owned the SPB215, the Studio Ghibli Castle in the Sky, and while I don't think it looks as sophisticated as that watch, I've come to appreciate the design of this one much, much more. I think it really fits the movie that it's representing better. And it has the same dimensions as that other watch. Just a different overall style and feel to it with the beat blast and all of that, the enamel dial. I don't really see myself getting rid of this watch. It's just so robust and really enjoyable to wear. My next watch in the collection is the Seiko Alpinist SPB507. So there's really no story behind this watch. I just kind of bought it because I liked the way it looked. It has this like forest green, but in certain lightings it can look like very black and dark with the gold indices. And this watch I found for a good deal on Reddit, on the watch exchange. And I don't know, it just is like the perfect go anywhere, do anything watch, even though it has a kind of funky green and gold aesthetic. It does wear a little bit big on my wrist, which you'll see in the video that I've taken for it. But this watch, honestly, it's perfect. Like, you can't really get much better than having a very long power reserve, 200 meters of water resistance. I did pair it on this Uncle Strap Senator bracelet. The original strap is kind of stiff and not very comfortable, whereas this it just perfectly conforms to your wrist, and it just makes it feel, I don't know, it elevates it, it makes it feel more robust, like you can do more with it. I love wearing it with like casual clothes and dressy clothes, but this watch has been a real treat to wear recently. The next watch in my collection is this gold Omega Tank. So this watch was gifted to me by my dad in November of 2022. I had been collecting and flipping watches until I got to trade for a Rolex, and then my dad trusted me enough to gift this watch to me. It was originally my grandfather's watch, and he passed away before I could meet him, but every time I look at this watch, I feel like I see aspects of him and his life through it. It's like a mini time capsule, if you will. The small casing screams like quiet luxury, while the gold case and the diamond indices on it kind of show aspects of, like, I don't know, my grandfather's ostentatious side. My brother told me that this watch looks like a women's watch, but the small form factor and diamond indices feel manly in a less like macho bro kind of way, which is what my brother's like, and more of an intentional and in tune with yourself kind of way. Like you're not ashamed to express yourself and wear what you like and what you want. I don't really see myself ever getting rid of any of these watches, but especially this one. It's an heirloom, honestly, and I don't see myself ever getting rid of it. The next watch in my collection is my grandmother's Rolex Datejust. So this is my late grandmother's, and it was given to me by my uncle. He owns my grandmother's and grandfather's Rolexes, but he gave this one to me. It's not currently working, and it's really small. I think it's the 28 millimeter. No box, no papers, just the watch. But I feel like even though this is kind of a women's watch, it could be worn with like a soft boy, almost matcha city kind of vibe. Like a corduroy jacket with linen pants or something. So I'm keeping it around so I can fix it and eventually try to see if I can style it properly one day. It was gifted to my grandmother by my grandfather, and they had matching Rolexes. He had a two-tone Submariner. But I love just looking at it and the gold, the way it shimmers. And it even, I don't know, it looks good on wrist too. But that's the only Rolex in my collection. The next watch is my Tudor Black Bay 54. I bought this in 2023, right as I started college. I didn't really have the money for it. I had been working at Chick-fil-A part-time and just saved up all my money. And I bought it as a reminder to myself after a difficult time to not give up. It serves as a reminder of all the good things that are to come, and it's gotten me through engineering school. It's gotten me through part of nursing school. It was with me through physical therapy. It really is just, it's a watch that symbolizes strength for me. And it's robust, it's black, so it goes with any outfit. and I don't really see myself getting rid of it anytime soon. So that's the Black Bay 54. Now this next watch is my Takeo Kikuchi Moonphase Chronograph. It's kind of a mouthful to say. I don't think it has a real, like, a reference name. I've seen some people refer to it as the Fortune, but this is by far my favorite watch in the collection. It's a manual wind Moonphase chronograph that was made in the 90s in Japan. It has a compact 36mm diameter, and it has a lot of sentimental value to me. I purchased this watch when I was in a really dark place in my life. I had been in the hospital for 3 months, and I saw it on Instagram, and I knew I needed to buy it. And ever since then, it's just been a staple in my collection. I feel like it wears really well with a suit. It goes really well with casual outfits like jeans and a t-shirt, even though it is more of a dressy kind of watch. But it just has a lot of sentimental value. It reminds me of my girlfriend. It reminds me of the time I spent while I was in the hospital. And it really is just a beautiful timepiece that I don't think I'll ever get the chance to own again, unless I wanted to spend way more money. It's not real gold, it's plated, but it's just so beautiful with the Moonphase. So that's the Takeo Kikuchi. And then I have this Omega Moonswatch. I know, I just said I don't like hype pieces, and this is kind of one of them. But I bought this watch in 2024 after the hype kind of died down, or the initial hype of the first 11. But I was at King of Prussia Mall when I bought this, and I was shocked to see that they had it in stock in the store, because it was like impossible to get these. I was shopping with my friend, my best friend, and as soon as I saw it, I whipped out my credit card and I was like, dude, you don't know how difficult these are to get. I have to buy it right now. And it doesn't really hold any sentimental value. I just sort of keep this in my collection because it's literally like the perfect college watch. It's lightweight, it's versatile. You can change the strap out super easily. I like keeping it on this NATO. And there's just something about it being quartz and lightweight and dependable. I don't really have to think about it. I can just kind of throw it on real quick as I'm rushing to my lectures and headed towards my classes. It's also like very unassuming, and it gets a lot of compliments. This is probably, besides my Takeo Kikuchi, my most complimented watch. My next watch in the collection is the Seiko SRPK29. So this is a mid-size Seiko 5, styled after the SKX series from before. And this was a high school graduation gift from my parents, I believe. Yeah, my parents. And I should know this. I used to wear it every day before I got the Black Bay 54. But ever since I got the 54, it's kind of taken the back seat. I mostly wear it now as I'm doing something where I don't want to mess up one of my other watches or get it scratched. Kind of like my beater watch, but I have some G-Shocks that I wear if I'm really gonna take a beating doing something. And it's also, like, similarly to the Moonswatch, a very good, like, everyday college watch. The folded links make it very lightweight and versatile because of its black dial, so it's just a really easy watch to put on or throw on with really any outfit. So that's the Seiko SRPK29. Looking ahead, I think that I've really kind of slowed down with like watch collecting and just life in general. I read something that really changed my perspective in life, and it's 1 Timothy 6:6-8. But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we had food and clothing, with these we will be content. I think that I'm like very blessed to have the money and finances to own all of these watches here. And I'm especially grateful for the watches that were gifted to me. So the Rolex, the Omega, the Seiko. And I'm realizing that like striving for luxury goods and materialistic possessions, it kind of just brings me a lot of stress. And I think that moving forward with my collection, I'm going to try to like simplify all of the different types of watches I own and focus on like what do I need versus what do I want. I do need some watches for like nursing clinicals and stuff like that, but they don't need to be like a Tudor Black Bay 54. They could be like a Casio or like a G-Shock. And so moving forward, I'm gonna try to just focus on appreciating like what I already have, and focus less on what I don't have. I think doing that will help me to just appreciate like the things that I have in front of me and sort of like what they represent and the people who gifted them to me, or the people that I love, or things that I enjoy. So I think I'm gonna be collecting a lot less moving forward. There are some pieces that I would love to own one day, but I'll focus on those when I get there. To round this video out, I just wanted to say thank you for watching my State of the Collection 2026. I would love to know what your thoughts are on my collection, or if you have any recommendations for me. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, maybe subscribe if you like watch content, everyday carry content, even just like lifestyle videos. I plan to, I guess, share my perspective and see what people relate to or don't relate to. I'd appreciate your support, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks.